Hello ninjas, it's RenegadeGNinja here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about working out. This is part 2 of my workout series tips video. I was going to do it in a 3-part series, but I had decided to go to a 2-part series just because there's only so much fun you can have talking about working out. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and some information. This gameplay is rough. It's one of those gameplays where I pretty much barely break even until the end, and then I just happen to go on this ridiculous tear. So if you're here just watching for the gameplay, just go ahead and skip to the end. You're not going to learn any kind of skills in Call of Duty watching this, except for maybe what not to do. But if you are interested in working out, I'm going to try to make it as fun and entertaining as possible while getting RPG'd or smalled or whatever that was. But there's only so much I can do with that. I already made these videos, as you guys know, and they were actually pretty entertaining, but for whatever reason, or, you know, actually for a reason, my hard drive died. So they're gone. Sorry. Let's just get into it. I guess it is kind of a comeback video because we're losing. But anyway, let's get into the workout. We'll get into the nutrition part of it first. So I'm going to talk to you guys about nutrition, and then I'll maybe talk to you guys about what to do while you're working out. Now, nutrition, all right, what to eat, when to eat it. Carbs. We're going to talk straight about carbs. Carbs you want to eat in the morning, okay? In the morning or at lunch or right before you work out. The reason is because carbs have energy. They break down pretty fast unless you're talking about complex carbs. Complex carbs like wheat pastas and that kind of stuff are good for you. They are good for you. It's the stuff that breaks into simple carbs like just normal bread and stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that's going to put weight on you. So if you're trying to gain weight, you want to up your carbs for sure. But you don't want to eat carbs like at night. I'm talking probably after 6. Say you go to bed at 10 or 9. You don't want to eat them after 6 because your body literally just breaks them down into sugar, which then they break it down into fat. And then even if you are a smaller guy trying to gain weight, you're really going to, you're going to lose your 6-pack or whatever. So I would say stay away from carbs after 6-ish, depending on when you go to bed or how active you are. Now, that doesn't mean you can never have carbs after 6. I mean, I eat crap all the time, but that's just kind of a general thing. If you're trying to maybe get a little bit better shape, just kind of watch it a little bit, moderation, don't go crazy. Protein's pretty much good anytime. After a workout, you really want to eat that protein powder because it dissolves really fast. Milk is not going to cut it for you. Milk, the protein digests too slow, but protein, if not besides when you're working out, of course, like protein is good anytime, day, night, doesn't matter. It's great. It's great for you. So that's good. I don't really have a whole lot of nutrition stuff, guys. Fruits. All right, we'll talk about fruits real quick because they're kind of cool. Fruits you can eat before you work out, and they'll give you energy because they're like nature's sugar. Now you can think of that 2 different ways. They're nature's, so they're natural. That's good, but they're also sugar. So if you eat too much of them, pretty much what you're gonna do is, put on sugar. Vegetables are great for you. That's just easy. I think everybody knows that. But okay, when you go to the gym, when you work out, you want to do like 3 sets of 12. All right. And the good way to think about this is, and if you don't know what sets are, you don't know what reps are, look them up. I'm not going to really get into it. I'm trying to help you guys out, but I'm really trying not to bore the people who kind of already know this stuff. If you do have questions, send me a message. I have no problem talking to you. Ask me a comment. That's fine. But, you want to do like 3 sets of 12 reps each. You could also do 10 reps each or even 6 reps each. The idea is if you want to tone your muscles, you want to do more reps. And if you want to build muscle, you want to do lower reps but more weight. That's kind of the idea behind it. Now, that does not mean if you are trying to lose weight, you should do reps of 20. And the reason behind that is when you go above about 12, you're really toning muscles the way women want to tone their muscles. Like, like, even if you're a big guy and you're not looking to get huge, you're just looking to get in shape, you still want to just lift, 3 sets of 12. That's great. The reason is when your body works out and lifts and builds muscle like that, think of your metabolism as a graph. All right. When you do cardio, your metabolism spikes up and it stays high. And slowly, it stays up high while you're doing the cardio, and then it slowly works its way back down throughout maybe an hour, 2 hours. It's working its way back down. When you lift weights, your metabolism doesn't spike quite as high, but it works its way down a lot slower. So your metabolism will stay high for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So a good thing to do if you're trying to lose weight and get in shape is doing cardio to burn those calories, and then lifting weights to keep your metabolism high so your body naturally burns calories. So, you know, a lot of people don't want to add in weights, and that's not a good idea. So that's a little tip for you guys there. How do you know you're doing too little or too much weight? Well, that's pretty easy, all right? If you can do 3 sets of 12 and your form is perfect the entire time, all the way up to the last rep of the last set, you could probably add more weight. That's kind of how I know it's time to add more weight. Well, you know, I start up on a set, and by the 3rd set, you know, towards the last maybe 10 or 12 reps, I'm arching my back. I'm really grunting it because I'm literally failing. I can't quite get the last part up. And that's how I know, okay, I'm working out good. I'm building muscle. Then, you know, every single time you work out, you get stronger and stronger and stronger. And then once I can fully do all 12 reps on all 3 sets and have perfect form, and I have to go maybe to 15 or 20 to really push my way through, it's time to up the weights. So, and if you can't even really do the first set to 12, or at least the second set to 10, you have too much weight. Back off that. You do not want to have too much weight and sacrifice your form. Number one, you can hurt yourself. I'm sure tons of people tell you that, though. But you can hurt yourself. But also, you're not working the muscles you're working. You know, if you want to work, should I say, if you go to the gym and you're the guy who slaps on tons of weight and tries to just man this huge amount of weight on there, and you're arching and bending, and you know, you're doing push-ups, but you're like, you arch your butt all the way to the floor, you're not working the muscles you want to work. You know, you might be able to say, oh yeah, I can bench press whatever weight. Yeah, you can brag about it, but you're really not getting the workout you want to. You want to have good form. You know, the first 2 weeks or so, if you're just starting out of the gym, take some weight off and learn how to get good form. That's the best thing I can describe, because if you learn form wrong, now your muscles already remembered that form, and now you have to break the bad habit, and that's way harder than just not having the bad habit to begin with. But anyway, guys, that's kind of some tips I got for you. Now I'm just going to go on this tear. I'm done. I'm done getting my butt kicked. I'm like, all right, let's get this. This is one of the reasons why you don't rage quit, because you can have this where you do a comeback. I don't know, like, they just kept trying to cap C, and I just happened to be at C, so it worked. Bam, bust them on the stairs. And if you'll notice, I'm using positioning to get to them. Watch them, I'll head glitch. People get mad and say, oh, you're head glitching, that's not fair. That's called using cover. Have you ever seen a Navy SEAL just run up, like, through the middle of the street with a submachine gun because he doesn't want to head glitch? No, it's using cover. If I was in this situation in real life, I would be laying on these stairs shooting my gun at these guys. I would not be standing around trying to do 360 no-scopes. So, I don't know. I like to play Call of Duty like I play real life. Maybe I rush a little bit harder than I would in real life. I'm not going to lie. I probably wouldn't run around with a submachine gun in a terrorist facility. But anyway, guys, just enjoy this gameplay. I don't know what else to say. And I don't know how I didn't die here. Bam! Saved by a glitch. Awesome. Pop a couple shots over there, see if there's anybody there. Bam, take that C flag. What we got over here? A guy tubing at me or shooting whatever. I don't even know what he's doing, but he's getting blasted. That's what he's getting. Because I've got all the perks, so that blast shield's keeping me. Blast shield, oh, I love blast shield. Flak jacket, I love it all. I really wish they would have brought support, or no, I'm sorry, not support. No, don't ever bring support back. No, no, no. Get off my C flag. I meant specialist. That's what I mean. I really wish they would have brought specialists back for Black Ops 2, but that's okay. I'm sure they're really good at balancing things. I like having kill streaks too. I'm all right with that. And I kind of camped it out here at the end. I knew I was getting close to the MOAB, and I paid for it, guys. Like, the score, the game's over with. No MOAB. Fail. So that's why I should have rushed. Didn't realize that the game was almost over. I was just excited. I don't know, guys. I hope you guys liked the game, or the commentary. I know the gameplay wasn't great until the end. A little bit of excitement there. But if you guys like the stuff, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I know it's not like the best, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.